Thank you, Rupert. So I've been going very deep while I'm here, and I just got triggered by like a very common and intense trigger for me. I could feel my body heating up like this, anger, frustration. So in the context of what we're doing, how do you, I'll use the word work with that?
Okay. Well, there are two approaches, the Vedantic approach and the Tantric approach, and I recommend you explore both of them. So the first one, I am angry. That's how you expressed it. I am irritated or angry. Mm-hmm. I am angry. So first of all, explore the I that is angry. You say that I am angry. So who is this that I'm calling I? Mm-hmm. So you don't pay any attention to the anger. You're wanting to know the one that is angry, the one around whom the anger revolves. In fact, the one on whose behalf the anger has arisen. I have been slighted by someone, ignored by someone, disrespected by someone, or whatever the trigger was. So what is this I? So you start exploring, what is it that I really am? What is it that is worthy of the name I? So tell us now, what happens? When you start to explore, tell us about yourself.
I was attempting to do that during...
Do that now.
Okay.
Do it now. Tell us about yourself now.
Can you say that again?
Tell us about yourself, the one you call I. You said, I am angry. Tell us about I.
What happens is it's very sticky right now. Like there's a big knot. And I can't distinguish between...
No, but I want you to tell us about I, not about a knot, a sticky knot. I want to know about I.
So I am, let's say, aware of...
You're aware.
The sensations and the thoughts. And
You're aware.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm aware.
Yeah, you're aware. What you are aware of doesn't concern us at the moment. We want to know about I, because you said, I am angry. So I want to know not about the anger, I want to know about the I. So you've said, I am aware. What you're aware of doesn't matter, because what you're aware of is not yourself. Tell us more about I, apart from the fact that I am aware.
Well, it's empty. Not empty, but it's empty. It's spacious and filled with all that stuff.
Okay, don't worry about what it's filled with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What it's filled with comes and goes, but it is the empty container of whatever it is. It is filled. That's good. It's aware. It is empty of objective content. What else?
There's nothing else, really.
Okay. So, given that you've said, when you've looked at yourself, you said, I am aware, and I am empty, transparent. Would you now make the statement, I am angry?
No.
Is this empty, aware presence angry?
No.
No. So what you said, I am aware, is not quite true. It was true because you looked in a kind of fuzzy way at your in an old way at your experience. Mm-hmm. The feeling was triggered, the concept I am angry was triggered, and if you had let it run, you might have started some kind of conflict with whoever it was that made you angry, etc., etc. But you don't follow the anger, you trace back. Who is the I that is angry? Indeed, is what I am angry. You trace it back, and right there it took, 3 minutes? Less. You discover that I is not angry. Well, what happens to your anger when you make that discovery?
It's not present.
That's it. That's the Vedantic approach, the direct path to happiness, which in this case, happiness is another word for the absence of anger, the absence of suffering. You may not be singing and dancing, it's not an ecstatic state, but you are free from your suffering, free from your anger. Just that's the Vedantic approach. Now, you may, the Tantric approach would be not to turn away from the anger and investigate the self on whose behalf it arose, but to go towards the feeling, to bring the feeling, rather than turn away from the feeling, it would be to bring the feeling close, not the idea, not the thought, not the story, he did this to me or she did that to me. It's just the raw experience itself, which is an experience in your body. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the anger has a storyline attached to it. She did this to me, but by far the larger part of the experience of anger is a sensation in your body.
Powerful.
Okay, so I'm presuming now that the sensation is still present. If it's not, imagine that it is.
It can be.
Okay. Okay, well, let's hope that whoever or whatever it was that was triggering you is still triggering you. Maybe it's me. And that is still producing the experience of anger. So here we're not investigating the I, the self, on whose behalf the anger arises. We're going deeply into the sensation of the anger itself. And it's divested of the story that accompanies it. It is a sensation in the body. And so close your eyes and go to the sensation. Go directly towards the sensation of anger from which you were previously in flight or avoiding. Now tell us about that sensation.
There's heat.
Okay, there's heat. Is the heat itself either pleasant or unpleasant?
Well, it's got so many associations, but...
No, but I'm not asking about the associations.
Okay.
As soon as you go into association, you go into thinking.
Yeah.
That's an avoidance of the experience. That's the separate self doing its usual thing, avoiding the experience, trying to escape from the experience into some form of thinking, some form of object, some form of substance. Do the opposite. Go towards the experience. Don't escape from it. Is the heat itself unpleasant?
No.
Or particularly pleasant, or is it just neutral?
Might even be pleasant. Neutral
Okay.
to pleasant.
Neutral to pleasant. Okay. And tell us more about the sensation.
Like a tightening in the jaw and upper body.
Well, are you sure that it's tight? Without reference to concepts and memory, how do you know it's tight?
Okay.
There may be an intensity to it, but are you sure that you're actually experiencing tightness?
No,
rather?
I'm not.
It's not tight, it's intense.
Yes.
Now, is the intensity pleasant or unpleasant?
Neutral.
It's neutral. Tell us more about the sensation.
I mean, the sensation is definitely, it's not, do you want me to bring it up still as intense? Or it's definitely, it's I mean, there's sensation in my upper body that
Yes,
is like a tingling.
It's a tingling, but is the tingling sensation either particularly pleasant or unpleasant?
It might be pleasant.
So far, everything you said about your experience of the sensation is either that it's neutral or that it's on the pleasant side of neutral. You haven't described anything unpleasant or negative about the experience.
Say again?
You haven't said anything negative or unpleasant. So where is the anger in your experience? Where is the negative emotion from which you are trying to get away?
It's not in my experience, it's in the story.
Yes, it's in the story, but we explored the story in the Vedantic approach. The protagonist in the story is I. Without the I, the story cannot stand. When we've explored the story, who is the I that has been hurt or disrespected or whatever it is? You couldn't find that I, or rather, you didn't find that I in the way you previously imagined it existed. You find the open, empty, spacious, aware presence. So you've taken care of the story by exploring it in the Vedantic approach, by exploring the nature of I. Now you're exploring the residues of the anger in the body, and when you look for it in the body, you don't find it there either.
No.
Where is your anger now?
It's not.
That's it. So that's the approach to anger. You take both these approaches. Take the Vedantic approach, that's the inward-facing path that explores the I around whom the story revolves, or on whose behalf the feeling arises. That takes care of the self that is hurt, the self that is upset. But that leaves a residue of anger or tension in the body. So in that approach, you don't turn away from the feeling. On the contrary, you bring the feeling close. You bring it towards you, not push it away from you. And you experience it so intimately until you see that actually there's nothing unpleasant there. There's nothing that merits the label anger or sorrow or suffering. Where is your suffering? Your suffering cannot stand this investigation. Your suffering can only exist if it is not clearly seen. The one thing our suffering cannot stand is the clear light of awareness. That is why in every turn the mind will try and escape into thinking, to justifying the feeling, because this keeps our suffering in some murky, half-seen light. It can thrive in the twilight zone, but it cannot survive the light of awareness. And if you try that with any emotion, you'll find that at the very heart of the emotion itself, by bringing the emotion close, you'll find the peace which you previously sought by avoiding the emotion.
Thank you.
That's why they say in the Tantric tradition that all emotions are made out of happiness. You go deep enough into any emotion, depression, sorrow, grief, you'll find this substance, this peace.
Thank you.